Hello YouTube. This is Greg. Thanks for stopping by. Last weekend I got to venture out onto the Florida Trail, and as frequents to happen, I nearly tripped over Fatwood stumps in parts of North Florida every day, and this is a little piece that I harvested out of a burnt stump and brought it home. One of the problems with harvesting fatwood is that when you bring it home and break it up in pieces, as soon as it's out in the air, it seems like part of its virtue appears to evaporate as it dries out, even in the humid Florida atmosphere. So I was watching a YouTube video of making Kinder extension pieces out of cotton rounds and beeswax. And recently, as an experiment, I took some cotton rounds from my wife's makeup cabinet, soaked them in lighter fluid, dipped them in beeswax again, and put them out on wax paper. And wow, they worked really good. Burned for 15-20 minutes. Scrape them up just a little bit, and the lighter fluid will make them just go off. And one of the great parts about them is they work really well even in the pouring rain, and even if they're soaking wet, you can still give them a little scrape and put a spark on them with a good ferro rod, and they will light right up. So on a tangent from that, I had an idea that even though these fatwood shavings are known to go off even when they're wet, which is great for Florida, I had an idea for how to preserve the flammable nature of them and prevent them from drying out. And so what I did is I took my Sureform file and my piece of fatwood, and I collected a pile of fatwood shavings and put it in one of these little plastic containers that my friend gave me, that he scrounged from, I think, a Kentucky Fried Chicken place. And besides that, you could keep them in the plastic container with a lid on them, and they would retain their virtue like keeping them in a Ziploc bag. They would do the same in this container as they would in a Ziploc bag. So I put some of it in one of these, heated up some beeswax in an old cup, and poured the beeswax on them and made a little puck made out of beeswax and fat lighter. On the same terms, you can scrape off a little piece of this stuff. Man, as soon as you scrape it off, you can smell turpentine. This is awesome. And I tried it in the fireplace, and one spark with my favorite ferro rod cooked this stuff off and stayed burning for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. And as I frequent to say, if you can't get a fire started in Florida with fatwood resources, especially mixed with beeswax, then you maybe shouldn't go out in the woods at all. But what I love about this thing, now that I've given it a bit of thought, is that trapped in the beeswax, the fatwood will never dry out, and it makes a very portable container, as it were, to hold the beeswax to throw in your fire kit and carry along with you. So give it a try. Drop me a note. let me know how it worked for you, or if you had any questions about it. And thanks for stopping by, and until the next time. Thanks.